Hello, and welcome back to Teach Truth with Save Our Generation. I hope you're all well and safe. Today's lesson is on gender and gender inequalities. Before we get started, let's recap on last week's lesson: stereotyping, discrimination, and prejudice. We learned these definitions, which are as follows. Stereotypes are an example of a type of prejudice. They are a fixed or overgeneralized belief about a specific group of people. They are based on the idea that this group acts a certain way, based on characteristics that only some people may have. Discrimination is the unfair treatment of people and other social groups in relation to their race, gender, age, and their sexual orientation. Prejudice means having a bad idea or opinion of someone without any factual evidence, knowledge, or reason. These definitions should help you to understand today's lesson. If you didn't attend last week, that's okay, because it's available on our YouTube channel. You can find the link in our bio. Let's get learning. So can you have a go at answering these following questions? Do you know what gender is? What is your gender? Do you know about certain things like jobs or roles that are associated with gender? Gender refers to the attributes of women and men which is created in society to determine how they should supposedly act. The sex of a person is determined through biology, and this is how doctors and parents know who is a boy and who is a girl. These three categories you can see further explain how gender is created and understood. Gender identity is how a person sees themselves. It is their internal sense and personal experience of gender. Gender expression includes all the ways a person communicates their gender based on societal factors such as gender norms and perceptions. Physical sex is the development and changes of a person's body over their lifespan. It depends on various factors such as sex chromosomes, reproductive organs, and hormones. Even though gender can be stated at birth, it doesn't mean that people stick to the gender they were given, because it is not a fixed thing. This can change over time, because how they were born does not necessarily match their gender identity. Some people choose to make physical and social changes to express their identity. For example, someone might change their pronouns from she to he and vice versa. Others may choose to undergo medical changes such as taking hormones or having a gender-affirming surgery, which is called transitioning. In society, we are taught that we are male or female, who learn to behave like a boy or a girl. This is known as gender roles and can determine gender identity. We might be told we might have to dress a certain way or like certain colours because we are a boy or a girl. It might be okay for some people who are comfortable with their assigned gender role. Other times, if we don't follow, we can be told we're not conforming to our given gender. Gender roles can play a significant part in our life as we grow up. From the start, parents or carers may dress their children in pink if they are a girl, or blue if they are a boy. This is because society said this is how it should be. It may continue on to school where boys play football and girls play with dolls. Moreover, in the future, people might say that women should be teachers, nurses, or nannies, and men should be pilots, doctors, and engineers. Women are told that they should cook, clean, and look after the children and the house, whereas men are taught to bring home money, constantly work, fix things that are broken in the house, and not do any cooking or cleaning. Women are also told that they should wear dresses, makeup, and have really long hair, whilst men are told they have to be really strong and muscly with short hairstyles and a beard or a mustache. Remember last week when we learnt about stereotypes? We talked about the many examples of each word. With gender, like I mentioned before, some things that you may hear is that blue is for boys and pink is for girls. Another one we see is in children's toys. Kitchen and cooking sets are normally aimed at girls, and trucks, cars and Lego are often aimed at boys. These are known as gender stereotypes, and deciding what girls and boys can do and can't do just because of their gender is called sexism. Sexism is prejudice or discrimination against someone based on their sex or gender. Sexism happens to everyone, but more commonly towards women and girls. Like last week, we spoke about how you can make a change. Here are some ways to challenge negative stereotypes and recognize them. Sexism and gender stereotyping is very common in society, and I'm sure we've all come across it or experienced it in some way. For example, on TV, when you see an advert of little girls playing with the latest Barbie doll or boys acting as superheroes. These negative stereotypes are everywhere, and we don't want that anymore. Furthermore, not everyone sees these issues, so let's tackle it together. Firstly, point it out. If you see it happening, don't be afraid to correct someone and teach them the right way. Talk to your friends and your family members about stereotypes and teach others about what you have learnt and that stereotypes can be harmful. Speak up, fight, and challenge these stereotypes. Do not be afraid to say no and tell people that they're wrong. Make sure to always be an example for someone who may not understand, and an example for others around you so that they too will adopt a positive attitude. Don't forget to always be yourself and to always ask questions if you're unsure. Remember that just because you're a girl, you must wear dresses. You can be whoever you want to be as long as it makes you happy. The same goes for boys. If you want to play with a kitchen set or do something that society says is for girls, this is okay. Society is not always correct. Well, I hope you've taken notes again. It's a lot to digest, but your brains are wondrous. To test your knowledge, remember to play the Kahoot game, which is also in the bio. Well, folks, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed learning. Before you go, remember to fill out a feedback form. Let us know how we can improve, and also don't forget to play the game. Remember, the links can be found in our bio. Thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, and see you next week.